Good Erev Shabbos, Parshas Lech Lecha. This week's Sedra begins with the famous pasuk, Hashem commanding Avraham, Lech Lecha, to go from the place where you live to the place where I will tell you. And instead of Hashem telling Avraham where he's going to take him, i.e. Eretz Canaan, he leaves it somewhat mysterious. And I will take you and go El Haaretz Asher Eka, to the place that I will show you. This, of course, is a famous question which many have attempted to address. Why the mystery behind this directive? So on one level, the most basic level, this is a nisayon to Avram Avinu of his a test of faith. As Rav Sorotskin in his Oznaim L'Torah puts it, Hashem conducted himself with Avram Avinu in military fashion, as a general and a soldier. Nohag HaKadosh Baruch Hu ba'Avraham minhag sar tzava. And what is that relationship between the general and the soldier? The soldier is putting his hands in is putting his life in the hands of the general. The general says, march here, go there, take that mountain, and the soldier dutifully marches forward. But that duty is not simply blind faith because he is in a low position, and therefore out of fear or out of force must listen to the general, but rather this is a faith based in trust. In a good military, the soldiers trust the generals, they trust the leaders, and it is in that trust that there is ultimate success and victory. And this then is the metaphor, says Rav Sorotsky, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is engaging with Avram Avinu as a sar tzava, as a general, with a soldier who is faithfully putting his trust in the leader, and that is the nisayon. It's not the nisayon whether you will listen or not. The question is, what is the nature of that relationship? Is it one based on fear? Is it a power structure, or is it one based on trust and a deep, abiding sense of loyalty? Now, some may argue that had Hashem told him where he was going, Lech Lecha El Eretz Canaan, leave where you are and go to the land of Canaan, perhaps Avram Avinu would have seemed to him as a too formidable of a task, a too overwhelming a task, and maybe knowing the destination he would not have accepted, because Eretz Canaan is a terrible, awful place, spiritually speaking. As we learned last week in Parshas Noach, Canaan, the land of Canaan, is named after the namesake is Canaan, the son of Ham, whom is the one person who we know is Arur, is cursed. The land of Canaan has a cursed people, a cursed culture. It is a culture of terrible paganism and all the ills that are associated with that. Indeed, we will learn in the coming weeks that when Avraham wants to marry off his son Yitzchak, and he sends his faithful messenger Eliezer to find a suitable bride for his son, he tells him, make sure whatever you do not bring home a young Canaanite girl. Don't do that. In other words, the Canaanite culture was so terrible, was so bad, that Avraham was not willing to be connected to any one of those families, even though the family that he was going to that he did allow Eliezer to seek a mate with was also a family of pagans. But there was something about the cursed culture of Canaan that was too much to bear, and therefore one could argue that perhaps Hashem kept it a secret because he didn't want to dissuade Avram Avinu. That, however, is somewhat problematic, because if we assume that Avram Avinu was indeed a man of great faith and trust in Hashem, even had he known this terrible destination, he would have done it anyway, and maybe that would have been a greater act, a greater test, one which Avraham most certainly would have been able to overcome. It also indicates that Hashem is somewhat untrue or devious, plotting Hashem doesn't have to be devious or plotting. If Hashem thinks, if Hashem wants Avram to go somewhere, say, go to Eretz Canaan. But it's going to be a bait and switch. I'm going to tell him to go to a place that I will lead him. And then once he gets there, it'll be too late. He'll be stuck. I mean, this suggestion of the Hashem keeping the name of Canaan, the land of Canaan, its name a mystery, does not seem plausible. Doesn't seem plausible. Indeed, the Sfas Emes suggests an entirely opposite approach. Hashem did not keep the name of the land of Canaan a secret in order to somehow deceive Avram Avinu, or to play a bait and switch game with him, or something along those lines. Rather, Hashem kept it a secret because revealing it would be problematic. How so? Says the Sfas Emes. Ki zeh levatel b'chol hachushim v'haritzonos rak l'ritzon Hashem yisparach. Hashem said to himself, as it were, I will not reveal this name to Avram, because the whole purpose of this mission is not a test of destination. Will you come with me to this destination or not? But it's a test of mindset. In other words, the purpose of this test of Lech Lecha me'artzecha, to leave this land and to go to some place which I haven't told you, is for Avram Avinu to leave his mindset of what he thinks should be the appropriate destination. It is a test, it is a journey of freeing yourself of the preconceptions of what you believe should happen in life, what you believe should be the plan, what you believe should be the spouse, what you believe should be the career, what you believe should be the place of dwelling. We all have conceptions of what we think life is supposed to be like. And Hashem says to Avram, according to the Sfas Emes, Lech lecha me'artzecha, leave your own desires, your own wills. The word eretz comes from the word, shares a root with the word ratzon, will. Leave your preconceptions of what you think should be happening aside. And where should you go? El hamakom. Makom, we know, is a double entendre. It means the place, but makom is also a word, it's a euphemism that is used to describe Hashem. We say to an avel, Hamakom yinachem eschem b'soch sharvei l'tzion v'Yerushalayim. Hashem should console you. And we refer to Hashem as Hamakom. When Hashem says, leave your eretz and go to the makom, it means, if I'm paraphrasing a little bit the Sfas Emes, leave your preconceptions of the way life should be and put yourself in the hands of Hashem. Hashem has a plan, and understand and be open to that plan. Free yourself from the restrictions of your mind and open yourself to the vast possibilities of an infinite being who has your best interests in mind. And that, of course, is the first Rashi in the parsha. Lech lecha me'artzecha lecha litovascha. That you should go on this journey because ultimately it's in your best interest. So I think that the message here is not just a messaging for Avram Avinu, but it clearly is a message for the readers for every generation hence. And that is that we all have challenges in life, we all have difficulties in life, we all find ourselves moving down a journey of life which isn't always in sync with what we had in mind months, days, years, decades ago. But the challenge, the mission of a Jew is Lech lecha me'artzecha. Free ourselves from the restrictions of our own minds, of what we think should be the plan, and go el hamakom, and open ourselves up to the infinite possibilities of an infinite God who is infinitely good and in our corner. Good Shabbos to all.